Good morning everybody and welcome to the vlog. Today's an exciting day. A few days ago, we got our first order of frozen food for the fish. Today, we're feeding all the fish we have here at the Legacy Aquarium. Buckle up guys, I am so excited.
Watch the Stingrays eat. I'm so happy I came over for the power washer.
Well, for the first time on camera, we're gonna show everybody how the Stingrays eat. They use their mouth. Right away, honestly, right from the get, these guys ate really well.
All right, before you go, you gotta. Yeah, I'm gonna feed
They're homeless back.
What, they're just best friends with AJ? Or like Ray J?
Right. There you go. Hey, that's perfect.
Good job, Mike. Dude, I'm feeding Stingrays.
How'd it feel?
Weird.
Pretty good. It's a little different than
It's a lot different, yeah.
feeding a rabbit to a snake, isn't it? So this is obviously not your first experience feeding rays. Your other two aquariums you worked at, they had similar rays, same rays?
Same with shed. All three places I've worked at have had cow-nose rays. We've had different species, but lots of different places feed cow-nose rays differently. You can do broadcast feed like this one. You can do direct hand feed. You can make them jump out of the water and do like 6 somersaults for them.
Yeah, I saw that one, like Newport used to have the one that would go through fire hoops, which was awesome. They got burnt all the time, but
They were fine.
It was
They go back in the
entertaining.
water,
It
so
was
obviously
entertaining.
they cool off.
Right. We're just joking, you know.
This is really good behavior from them. Eventually, when I have a little bit more time, I'll build a little target for them. The reason why I'm feeding them up front is I want them to get comfortable with, eventually we're gonna have guests do feedings for the Stingrays. And so them getting comfortable coming up, the acrylic is what we want to see because we want them to interact with the guests. But this will be for the guest feeding out here. When I build the target, that one will be like, hey, morning time feed. When the aquarists want to feed them the amount that we want to, then that is the designated spot only for that.
Everything here at Legacy, obviously, we want it to be interactive. We want everybody to experience things they've never experienced before. AJ, getting them familiar with hand feeding at a certain spot is really for everybody else as well, not just us.
Is it easier or harder to do it in the net, and is there any benefit?
What do you mean?
Like, is there a net benefit?
Busy weekend.
Yeah.
Did a ton of stuff, but I'm super happy because we got a lot accomplished. Obviously, come look right here. I just want to give the biggest shout out to my son-in-law, Michael. He drove all the way here from Grand Rapids on Saturday, spent the day putting all of these together, and then drove home. I love him so much. He is such a blessing because while we were working 12-hour day here, he was doing this. I got to do a bunch of other stuff over there, saved me days worth of work. I'll show you some more. A ton of seaming, getting ready. There's so many layers and steps to it. You know, sometimes you gotta foam a bunch of stuff first, then you gotta go back and seam. Ivy and Elvis's are 100% done. So now I just have to clean them, fill them up with water, and have them running for the final time this week.
You also got these done, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, they look so good. How did you get them to look so real?
We had a whole box of these things, right? So as I'm looking at it, trying to see how do I make it look real, take a real one. So I had it with me, and then I'm like matching the colors on the actual thing. And guess what? I love it. I think it turned out great. Mimicking nature, gotta love it.
You got even more stuff done?
Yep, I did a bunch of work on the bug wall or the invert wall. Obviously it doesn't look pretty right now. That's the hard part. Pretty part is the easy part. So that's what I'll work on today, is cleaning this up, dusting it. But it's a really cool panel. I think it adds a good architecture to it. And now I just have to do the fronts, which I had a different idea. Originally we were just gonna do rock, but you want me to tell you or save it?
Let's save it.
All right.
We'll leave it a surprise.
Let's save it because I want to also make sure, like, it looks good in my head.
A lot of schooling fish in here that are a little bit more aggressive towards feeds, and then we have a particular fish that I have to like specifically train to take off the feed tongs. Filefish don't eat their food all in one bite. They kind of like to chew on it a little bit. He is slower with his food, and so the smaller guys will steal it from him. So if I distract everybody on the right side of the tank, I can directly feed him at a slower pace that's more comfortable for him.
This is one of those tanks that has a mixture of fish, so there's different foods for different fish, and just to make sure they all get what they need vitamin-wise. Some have pellets, some are frozen. AJ almost has to like trick fish into eating or trick fish to go somewhere while he's feeding. Obviously, when we're looking for a senior aquarist, we went through a lot of applications, but the key was getting somebody who had a lot of different experience, not only in different fields, but also different facilities with different animals, and just really somebody well-rounded that we could bring here and he can just jump right in and get right to work. AJ fit right in.
It literally looks like the rock just disappears into the glass. That's so sick.
That's the goal.
Great
is
job.
To do that.
That's-
So now we just got to clean all this up. Gonna drain this, clean it, scrub it really good, fill it for the last time. Well, the last time before Elvis goes in.
Yeah, then we'll be filling it pretty much daily because he'll pee in the water.
I did a lot of work on toothlesses. Again, now this is all ready for me to go in and seam it now. Melissa was here. She finished fixturing out all of the small enclosures.
They all look so good.
They're 100% like drilled, foamed, ready. I think she was just gonna come and dust a few today, but that's huge. God bless her soul, because that saved me hours and hours of work. And that just leaves us with one more area, really. So I got all the universal rock done on this. Same thing, I just have to clean it up and seam it, but that part is good. Same thing here, like this is this awesome cool rock wall. Just had to foam a bunch of stuff. So again, today I'm gonna clean that up, dust it up, look like brand new. We'll be ready to go. So these ones we have to fixture out. Basically, once those other ones are done, we gotta fixture out all the little inverts or the spiders and all that. And then these, all of our reptile enclosures will be done and ready for inhabitants.
That's crazy.
Gotta work out. So that way you gotta switch arms, that way you get an equal workout.
Wow, were you crushed this weekend, huh?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was long. It was 12 hours Saturday and probably 6 yesterday. But I just gotta keep getting these days and we're gonna be open soon.
Oh, this one's up next?
Up next. So in this tank, there's a lot going on, AJ. Food-wise, what do you concentrate on to make sure everybody gets their nutrition?
All these little guys, they are typically eating 5 times a week, but the cowfish themselves are only eating about 3 times. And so the pellets are gonna be here kind of the similar ways to distract all the wrasses, all the damsels. That way I can target feed the cowfish. It's very similar to the filefish. They're kind of slow eaters. They can also compete with each other. So making sure that they're not stealing pieces of shrimp from one another keeps them happier, keeps the aggression down, because they do have a pretty mean bite to them, and I don't really want them either tearing into each other or tearing into the smaller guys.
It's just so much more nutrition in a pellet compared to just a single food.
The mirror tanks, the angels and the surgeons have pellets, but I also mixed in minced shrimp with theirs. This is an omni pellet, and so it's both for vegetarians and for carnivores, but I still want to add in a little bit of extra protein whenever I can. Starting next week too, once my supplements get in, we're gonna have Celcon, Vitachem, Spirulina, and each day is gonna have a day where some of the food like pellet or flake actually gets soaked in those vitamins or gets injected with something. Thiamine we can also inject as a paste, and the Stingrays actually have their supplement pills that go inside their food that they eat too.
All right, guys, and it's been a few days since we actually got the clownfish tank all set up, and this thing is clearing up like crazy. It looks absolutely beautiful, and the clownfish are just so cute. There has to be like 10 separate different morphs of clownfish in here. There's dark ones that are almost black and white. There's ones that are mostly orange, mostly white with some black dots, almost like a Perdita clownfish, and all the things in between. So I want you guys to let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite clownfish and why? Because it's hard to choose, man. I mean, I'm a big fan of the high white ones with like little bits of color, or maybe all white with just a little bit of black, but everyone has kind of picked their own favorite here. But I want to know down in the comments, what is your favorite? Oh, and also a huge shout out to Reef Breeder for all these amazing lights. They're making our tanks and fish look absolutely ridiculous. Go give Reef Breeder some love. Let them know we sent you.
He's like a little kid.
I know, it's cute.
Hey, all the work we've done here, this is a fun time, man. Yeah. AJ, I know you interviewed for a lot of places, man. What were the 3 top things why you came here? Untraditional owners, obviously. So different than anything you've done before. You could have went anywhere, realistically, we both know that.
For me, I've actually told him this before. He was a big reason why I came. The products that he puts out there, you see that stuff countrywide, worldwide, and life support is something that not every standard aquarist or standard person in a public aquarium world gets to learn. A lot of bigger facilities actually have engineering teams, life support teams, and you know, I told him early on, I said, my skills with life support is probably a 5 or a 6 out of 10, but I really wanted to have the opportunity to learn that. And I knew that I could through him, helping get this place set up, helping get it running. And that kind of leads into the second part is it was always a lifelong dream of mine to help a place open. There are parts where you miss having that structure of a bigger facility with directors and curators and all these other people above you, but there's a real beauty to it, to being here from point A to point B. And obviously your all's point A is a lot further back than mine, but it's still, there's a huge payoff and reward, at least on my end. And I mean, I was always a fan of the vlog. You know, I watched the videos. I talked to my parents about it, and they even watched some of the videos and talked about how infectious Brian is, what his vision was and what his idea of this place was. To have somebody who was such an impactful person create this project that was reliant on so many people, I wanted to come in and help alleviate some of that stress off of his shoulders, Lori's shoulders, anybody else who was a part of it. You know, that was my way of, I guess, giving back to the cause that Brian started.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
All your enclosures look so good, dude.
Thank you.
What you doing right now? Finishing these out?
Yeah, let me show you. Like this one I just did. Let me just turn the light on.
Oh, this is for switch?
Yeah, isn't that cool? Look how good this wood is.
I know, I love when it looks like that. So sweet.
Drilled and foamed. All of these are done.
I know, and
Done.
they look so good.
Wow, really happy.
Good job.
We're close.
This is the spot where I've been feeding them a bunch, mainly because I can keep all the food in one spot. There's less lights right here, so less opportunity to get food stuck up on top of lights. But eventually we will feed them from the catwalk because we're gonna have a couple black tips in here. All the feedings will be kind of stationed together, but I do want the fish to get used to feeding right here because the black tips are gonna be feeding at a certain spot on the other side of the tank because these guys will kind of swarm around the food you'll see here in a little bit. And the black tips, we're gonna feed them on a pole. And that pole feeding will happen, you know, as far away from the little guys as possible.
Bash, I know these were one of your favorites to get in here.
I just love it. Watching these guys eat is just as cool as watching the sharks eat. Any type of schooling fish, I think it's just mesmerizing.
Oh, there they go. Oh my God, it's like bumblebees.
It's insane. It's a mosh pit.
It's a cool behavior too because like a minute ago they were all doing what they've been doing and this kind of breaks up their normal behavior, but this is normal feeding behavior for them.
And as Lori was saying, guys, it's time to start cleaning this place up. We really got to get this thing ready for open. Plastic on the tanks and a bunch of stuff hanging out. This is not going to work anymore. So I'm actually going to try and get this place cleaned up so it can look a whole lot better. There you have it, guys, just like that. It looks so much better without a bunch of stuff laying around. I mean, literally just a couple minutes of work and it all looks great. But I did notice, I don't know if you saw in the time lapse, that I found this in the freshwater touch tank. And I don't really know exactly what it is. So why don't we bring it to Lori and see if she knows. Who's docking here?
It's a deep sea tank, so it's all the squirrel fish and the lobster. Same thing, pellets, some frozen shrimp. These guys are vultures. They got the massive mouth. You gotta watch them eat.
The squirrel fish?
Yeah, squirrel fish are great.
Oh, these are so sweet, huh?
Look at this. It's like the battle of the pellet. They're literally like fighting for pellets. There's 1,000 pellets, but they're still gonna fight over just the one.
The two big ones are over there worried about each other, but the little guys over here scooping
He's getting all the pellets. He's the one that tells the other two, hey, all the pellets are on that side.
But lobsters kind of beef with each other normally. Yeah. The only kind of behaviors that we would be really worried about is actually them attempting to predate on the squirrels because they could actually grab onto one of the squirrels and take them if they wanted to. They may end up going after one another, but if we don't see them like trying to rip off an appendage or, you know, trying to bite one of their legs, all of this is pretty normal.
They're a lot faster than I would have ever thought. Like, those lobsters are quick.
If you watch diving videos, divers have to sneak up behind them. That's how fast they are because as soon as they see them and they shoot that tail, I mean, they can move pretty quick.
I found this in the freshwater touch tank. Do you want to see what's in it?
I know what it is.
Oh, you know?
Do you want to open it? I mean, you don't have to. I just thought it was funny because I found it in there.
No, it's, you know what? Isn't it how everything, we've been tucking stuff
surprising.
everywhere.
It's
No,
Nemo!
Oh my God, I love these little things that have just been...
These are the Brian Easter eggs because this
good.
this was the order he placed
So
without
good.
my approval.
Which I think is great right now. It's
Yeah,
cool to
yeah.
see, you know? They didn't even wrap the real fish this small.
Right?
Poor baby, how'd you breathe?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay, perfect. He's got two.
I love him.
Just keep swimming.
Next time Ashy comes, we're gonna have him
New
help
job.
hang it.
Oh, I love that.
That is cute.
How cool is that, seeing that clownfish get unwrapped? I know Bri would be psyched to see it right now. I'm trying to be psyched for him. I know there's still a little bit of tape that's left on these enclosures. I'm gonna let the aquarium team take care of that. I don't wanna scratch the acrylic or ruin it in any way. I don't know what I'm doing. One job done, 1,075,000 left to, you get the point. We got a lot of work to do.
Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, there's a playlist that you can watch all kinds of videos. You can also hit that subscription button. It would mean a lot to me. Also, hit that like button while you're down there. Have a wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you in the next one.